start the meeting at 6:03. First things first, next month's meeting.
Yeah, I have the next meeting, December 15th, and we can do Zoom again if that works for everybody.
Sounds good to me. Everyone else?
Sounds good. Sounds good to me.
Okay.
All right, December 15th, sorry.
15, 6 o'clock.
Did you send minutes out, Kim?
Yeah, I emailed a whole packet. I emailed the minutes and like a cheat sheet too. And did you guys not get them?
I just was looking a minute ago and I couldn't find them.
I would have done them last week. I would say Thursday. Joe, did you get yours? And
yeah.
Oh, maybe I have them here.
Monday, I think it was.
Yeah, I got mine as well.
Yep, I have it. Let's see. So approval for the minutes for last month. I was going to say a couple weeks ago.
Somebody make that motion. To approve? Yeah. John, do you want to make that motion to approve?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve.
A second.
Everyone in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. What's next? News? Regular business?
All right. So I'm not looking at the agenda, but I think the next thing was our update just on a couple of different items. Kim, do you want to just read off what the item is?
Yep. So the first one is a full cleanup of the lots from Garton LLC.
Okay. So I will provide an update to you that Garton has completed its work. It actually came out great. We're very pleased with all of the cleanup that had happened. If you recall, in July, we had a lot of ugly plant beds. And as of today, they look much, much better. I'm going to just show you the slideshow. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the biggest one. And this is actually two portions here. The biggest place that they did work, and I don't know how easy it is to see, but they cleaned out very, very well the alleyway between Church Street and the Church Street Commons area. If you recall, there were some extremely overgrown rose bushes and just collecting a lot of litter in there. And Garton put a lot of time and effort into this project, and it actually came out much better than I had anticipated. Both this one and Reader 3 are the two that really came out well. Certainly a lot more work happened in the Railroad Ave lot. I didn't get out to take all the pictures that I wanted to, but I wanted to at least show you the Church Street Commons area. I think that came out really well. So we spent about $8,000 was the number for
Yes.
the full cleanup. Certainly it was worthwhile. The goal would be to in March, between now and March, come up with a scope of service for the continued maintenance of these beds so that they don't get out of control again. I think that if they were to go in every 2 months, they'd have a pretty good success rate in keeping the things under control. So Kim and I are going to work on and Lisa will work on a plan for how best to address this going forward. But that $8,000 was well spent at this point. The other thing that we hired them too. We hired Garton to do the leaf cleanup. And if you go out, the lots that they've been going out on a periodic basis, particularly Thomas Street, and particularly in rainstorms, Thomas Street gets really challenging. They have those little leaves that cover the storm basins. And we've been fortunate to avoid any major concerns there. I've gone in and gotten my dress shoes wet a couple times to unplug that, but this year we haven't had to do that. So we continue to we'll go through probably that second week of December will be their last cleanup for leaves, but they've done a good job of making it so that it stayed fairly clean throughout the fall. So those are the two things that we've hired them to do. Certainly they're still doing the trash barrels for us. So we're pleased with that. That's just the update on their cleanup. Any questions?
Okay.
No
Next
questions.
Next thing we can talk about is the gravel lot potholes. Do you want me to talk? PJ,
Yeah, if you
or-
want to, Kim, please just fill them in on that. So I'm going to have a meeting. I'll just tell you, I'm meeting Friday with our contractor. Kim has arranged for a meeting for me, so she'll fill you in on where we're at.
So we used to use Burke Brothers to go in and fix our potholes before the winter season, but we haven't received any response from them. So I've been in touch with Raymakers. It's JL Raymakers and Paving, I believe, and they're going to meet with PJ on Friday. PJ, he hasn't confirmed the 9 o'clock appointment yet. I sent another email to him, and if I don't hear from him by tomorrow morning, I'll call. But he's going to go out and meet with PJ to look and see how to, to get a quote to fix all the potholes in there, along with the entrance into the gravel lot from Church Street, because it's real bad. So hopefully their quote will be in line with what Burke Brothers usually does for us, and we can get that fixed before the snow flies.
Yeah, so that's our goal, is to go into the winter with a reasonable level of service in there. There have been some years that we've gone in and it's just been a crater full of things. And unfortunately, usually the first or second snowstorm, or the first, when we get a thaw, things get a little bit uglier in that lot. But I think right now we're in fairly decent shape over there. There are a few moguls that you navigate, but the goal would be to get them to do some fill in with usually we use just some gravel fill to keep it level.
All right, next one. The next one is in regards to flower pots that were moved from the Church Street Commons, and it's kind of not that area. When you look at where Church Street Commons is right now on the picture that PJ has up, I was under the impression a business has stated that people were driving up through there and leaving their vehicles there. It's really not there. They're actually driving from School Street behind like Rosewood. So I don't think we need to move the flower pots. I mean, maybe some near that trash can to put them in a better spot, but I don't think that's the problem. I think it's right behind the Rosewood, right there. Yes.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah,
many years ago, they used to be able to go through there, because when I first started, Connors was there, and he used to always call Denise, because he was getting complaints that he was parking his vehicle there so we could load it and leave. So my GIS isn't working to find out like who owns that property, but I think if I drive down there, I want to say there's a street sign right there, or something, that there's a drive-through, or a sign that says, please don't block the driveway.
Yeah, so I think it is. So those flower pots. I mean, I went over and I looked briefly. I didn't look for the sign. I hadn't seen that the sign, but they did those flower pots that I showed on the first slide had been moved, and that's how they're accessing it. They're accessing it from right in front of Jack's Barber Shop, and they're taking a right. They're taking a right to head over that way. You can't get in there from School Street. There's a flower bed, or there's a overgrown bed there that's not ours. But there's an overgrown bed and a curb, a substantial curb that stops you from getting in from that side. So they are accessing it from School Street. I will. I did check in with DPW. I've been, and you'll hear more about me talking to the DPW on these things, but I have asked them to try to move them. They're very heavy. You're going to need a loader or a Bobcat or something to move those. So I don't know who would have done it, but we're going to have to move those to try to keep traffic out of there. And that's if we decide to. I mean, again, it's not necessarily ours. If it's a public way that still allows traffic, then it's allowed to be a loading zone. And we'll have to answer that question from the constituent in that way, that it's an allowed use. And if people don't seem to have a concern with it, then we'll kind of leave it as it is. But if they do, we'll have to have those flower pots moved back.
How do we find out who owns that?
I'll look through the GIS, but I'll ask engineering. Engineering generally has a feel from when they did the Gaslight District upgrades. There should be some sort of a plan that shows us what it's supposed to be.
Okay.
I just haven't had a chance to check with them yet.
Yeah. This all what his son told me, which it sounded like they were parking right in front of his business. I didn't know it was down this alleyway, and that's the latest picture I got from them.
Yeah. So I can see why they do it. I mean, it's not always easy to get a spot for loading and unloading. I'm familiar with the person who's actually doing this now, and he's a vendor for Rosewood. He does their T-shirts and that kind of stuff. And it's not always easy to be close to the back door. So trucking along the back parking lot, it might not be the easiest thing to do, but we'll figure it out. I don't know how much danger there really is.
The one thing is that Two Rivers Burritos, behind their business, they've never set that up as a patio to be able to have outdoor seating and alcohol, but they are licensed to be able to do that.
Okay.
So there is a portion that if they wanted to. Right now they don't have liquor. They didn't renew it, but they were allowed back there. So I don't know.
Okay.
I think I can check too to see if we had to get city permission on that lot. Two Rivers.
Do you guys have any concern there, or just want us to take a look at what's allowed and kind of get back to the guy, or do you have any preference as to what direction we take on it at all?
I don't, and especially if it's a public way, and we can't do anything anyways, but I mean, whatever is going to work the best for everyone involved.
Okay. So we'll start with that.
I agree with that. Yeah.
So I'll start with engineering and see what they tell me to do. All right, what's next, Kim?
Next would be the discussion of off-street parking signing program for downtown Westfield.
Okay.
What Joe proposed at the last meeting.
Yeah, I'll do that. Let me just do this other one. I did just wanted to share this because I don't think it's on the agenda anywhere else.
Yeah, no, I didn't put it on there.
So we did have, as you were aware, we've had a dumping problem at the Franklin Street lot. So this picture was taken last Wednesday or Thursday, and it was gross. So if you look at it, that's the dumpster corral. And to the left of the dumpster corral is one of the actual dumpsters. There's supposed to be 3 in there. But because it was so overrun with garbage, they were unable, the USA hauling was not able to get it back into the cage. So it started to overflow. It was gross. I've been down there. We'd started receiving a number of complaints from business owners. And we were able to finally, we've been working with the DPW for a while to try to figure out how to deal with this. And I've been working on a number of fronts. So primary, and I know I talked to Ellie and we talked about this the last meeting. I've been advocating for a camera system, both here and at the, on a telephone pole on School Street to cover the Reader 3 lot. There's one right next to the hangar that tends to gather junk too. So I've been advocating for that for a little while. Actually, it's been since February. I looked through the through our work order system at that we have with IT. It started in February. In June, I did a walk around with the IT department. They were going to look for solutions for us. And then again in October, I sent a tickler out to see what it is that we can do. I haven't had a response necessarily yet, but the concern that's been relayed to me is that it's a challenge to find a place where we could mount a camera. So the camera mounting and the Wi-Fi access are two things that have been shown as barriers to getting the cameras up. I'm more than willing to speak to the G&E about whether or not we can hang them. Our light posts are G&E light posts. They did allow us to put our blue lights up that we were going to use for the snow removal process. So they didn't have a problem with that. I don't think that they'll have a problem with us having the camera there, but we'll see. I'm willing to have that conversation provided IT is willing to let us do this. And number two, I'm willing to pay. We're willing to ask you guys, ask the parking permit users to pay for it. We have the maintenance account. We have general fund revenues, and we probably would end up using general fund revenues for this. I don't know that this is a allowable use of maintenance funds, but we would use general fund revenue to pay for it. I asked for $3,000 in the budget process this year. It was approved. It's sitting there ready to be used. We just don't have that solution yet. And I'm not a tech guy, so I'm kind of at a wit's end as to how to make it happen. But we're going to work I'll continue to plug for it. In the meantime, DPW has opened up a purchase order with 1-800-GOT-JUNK, which is a junk hauler in town. They've opened a $2,000 PO for them to come in and do every 2 months. They'll come in and they'll do a run through for us, and they'll charge us based on the volume of what they're taking away. But they're going to pay. They're willing to put that first $2,000 in. If it becomes necessary, we'll try to do that ourselves. But I think the more effective way is to stop people from dumping, and that's to have the camera system to come up with some plan to stop people, because they're just unloading. It's wide open. I've thought about gates. I've thought about all kinds of different things, and none of them are super feasible here. As you can see, it's really wide, so a sliding gate would be near impossible to make it work. There's just not enough room for the sliding to happen. And then you don't want to have a pull-out gate either, because you end up blocking traffic through the lot for a much longer period of time when you got the gates open. And then what's to stop anybody from throwing it over the top? So we're trying to figure it out. It's a lot harder than I hoped it would be, but we'll see. But that's what it looked like on Thursday. And thankfully the DPW came through yesterday, and it's been all cleaned out. So we're back to a good square today. We drove through, and we're working through it. So we've at least gotten through the immediate concern, but it's still a major issue. And I don't know, it's a balancing act for us to decide how much we want to publicize that dumping is a problem there, because then you publicize it. Does that mean more people are going to be interested or understand that you can dump there, or that nobody's policing it? I just don't know how much I really want to put it out there. I'd love to shame people sometimes, but at the same time, I don't want to invite more people to start throwing stuff. So that's my discussion there. Any questions on that or ideas?
Okay.
Okay, I'll take that as a no. I think we're good. All right. So on to Joe's item. So I'm trying to put together a couple templates here. This is the first stab, and if you have other ideas,
Looks
we can
good.
do that. But I'm
Looks
thinking
good.
about, yeah. So I wanted to put this is I wanted to try to make it consistent with what our wayfinding branding is right now for the downtown on the signage that we've had put up last year. So I created it like this. We could go out and have these made and distributed. Like I said, here's Shop Downtown, 3-hour free parking, enter lot from Franklin Street. So this is one that we could bring to, the Nook, or we could bring it to Santiago's, or we could bring it to Yummy Noodle, or Chrissy G's Bakery, the places that are in that general area. And we have the ability to modify it. So we could do Shop Downtown, 2-hour free parking, and enter lot from School Street. That would be the reader lot behind Two Rivers Burrito, or that serves the Good Table or the Hangar or Jack's Barbershop or Park Square or whoever it is. So we could make each of these and distribute them. I'm happy to do that. I just don't know if anybody has anything they wanted to add to it, or
No, they look good, but they would need to be laminated or something. You don't want
Right.
to just give them a cardboard.
Yeah.
It's gotta be a little
Yeah.
substantial.
Yeah, so I mean, we could do it in a couple different. We could try to get them made on smaller. What do we call them? Like kind of like the campaign signs, those corrugated plastic that they could hang inside their window, or we could laminate just paper. Whichever way, I'm willing to think about it either way. But
Yeah.
maybe we'll.
I have a question. Well, kind of related. Why do we have 2 hours one place and 3 hours another?
So the rationale is so the 3-hour lots, or I guess the 2-hour lot. I think the reason that it's 2 hours, and Kim has been a lot longer than I have, but the reason that is right now that's a more I guess it's shorter term usage. I mean, you're looking at the the biggest difference, I guess I'm having a hard time explaining, but the biggest difference between Reader and the rest of them is that Reader doesn't allow for the permit parkers to use it. So when you buy your $10 sticker, Reader is not a permit lot. And the reason for that is it's more transient. The goal is to get people in and out of there a little bit more. And I don't know why it's 2 hours versus 3, but the real policy concern in that lot was that not to have people parked there all day. So we don't allow for the permit people to use it. The permit and the 3-hour parking is in the gravel lot for that section for the employees. But Kim may have an answer to why it's 2 instead of 3.
Yeah, so that back area used to have 3 reader lots. The first one would be the reader one, and that was really for quick turnaround, to be able for people to get in, go to that area, walk across the street if they have to. No permit people allowed. Reader 2 used to be behind the hangar, which is now a park, and that would be 3 hours and people could park there. The city felt that we needed one lot where no permit holders could be there, and people could run in and either go to a store quickly, or they could go and get food, because all of our lots are really busy. Thomas Street is a really packed lot, a lot of permit holders there. So it's hard if you want to go down for lunch, you really can't park there. I mean, when Leo's was there, you'd be lucky at noontime to find a place to park. So Reader 1 was able to, you can park there, run across the street if you have to. The other thing is that area has a lot of businesses that they'll just park there for the full 3 hours. So now you have no place for your customers to go. A lot more businesses in that area. People don't always like to go to the Thomas Street lot to have to run to Two Rivers Burritos, to run to Circuit Coffee. So 2 hours seemed good to be able to go to, the Good Table. And again, we do not if someone gets ticketed and they come in and they say, we were downtown and, we were shopping, we were eating, and we parked here and I get a ticket. What we do is we do dismiss those tickets and we explain to them where they can do a 3-hour. We also tell them, we're not here to hurt you if you're shopping downtown, even if they're over 3 hours. We have never had a customer be upset with us for that reason. They do get upset when they get a ticket on street and we have to tell them that they have to park behind the building and walk in. That's when they get upset. But we do dismiss the on-street tickets too if they're in a restaurant or something. So 18 and a half years working for the city, I've never had one person be upset with us that, they got ticketed because we dismiss it for them. It's your biggest complainers are your permit holders who want to park in Reader 2. We have a lot of businesses that park, Reader 1. We have a lot of businesses that park in Reader 1 and they take away from the poor customers that want to get in there and run in and get a quick haircut or run in and get something from Two Rivers Burritos. So they're our biggest complainers are the permit holders, not the people frequenting the downtown area.
That makes sense.
Yep. We try to keep as many of the permit holders that do have permits that they can even park in the gravel lot and they won't walk. They want to park in that 2-hour spot because it's right behind the building, and it hurts customers. But they don't get mad at us. We're nice to them.
Okay, so that was that's really what I'll do is over the course of the next few weeks, we will work to kind of quote out what it would cost, kind of count out how many of these we need to distribute, and then work on a public campaign. One of the things that, and I hesitate to say this because we're being broadcast, but one of the things that I thought about including on here was, and I don't know how much space I really have, but is free parking on weekends, because we don't have the authority to enforce on Saturdays and Sundays. And I just didn't know if we wanted to do it or we don't, but
I can tell you that most of your residents know that there's free parking on weekends, because when they buy permits, you have a lot of people who will say, a lot of the kids, well, our friends are going to be here on a weekend, or my parents are coming in, where can they park? And we do tell them that Saturdays and Sundays are free. So we've been telling them forever. So we've never really had any problems.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep these simple, but I would love to see, love to figure out how to put, just because, especially with the restaurant users, and the goal would be like places like I know the Maple Leaf has a little bit of a parking lot of their own, but the Maple Leaf and the Hangar and all these, like just the general restaurant community, I think it would make it just helps to have a saying that, that never hurts to say free parking. It never, I don't think anybody's ever been upset by people saying that, but just trying to figure out how to include that.
People do on the weekends.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ellie?
It might draw people on the weekends too who don't know. Right.
And that maybe that's part of what our public campaign is. If we put some Facebook ads together, and I don't know if they're not necessarily ads, because I don't really have an ad budget, but our posts, if we were to put them on our, I have a community development page that I put it up on, and I would share it to the forum or to the Experience Westfield downtown group or whatever. But that might be a place for us to just get the word out, so people know that, and try to like Joe has said, the whole point of this is to get it out of people's heads that it's a hard place to visit, because it's really not. There's plenty of parking. It's not expensive. It's free for the most part when you're able to go. People who are able to go on weeknights or during the weekends, anytime after 5 o'clock at night or anytime on the weekend, it's free. So getting that word out there is a probably something we want to do.
And with this, could we come up with something to put on the street as well, like I had shown last time? Like maybe right underneath where the signs that say 1 hour parking, 2 hour parking. So if you're driving and you can't find a space and you're looking at those signs, you'll see right underneath, hey, I can go in the parking lots.
Yeah,
We don't have a lot of those 1 and 2 hour parking on streets, and that's a problem
Right.
too.
yeah. But we'll look at it. I know, one of the challenges that we have, and that's not to say we can't do it, but I know we have a couple of members of the city council who are just adamantly convinced that there's too much signage. And I mean, there's a part of me that thinks that they're not wrong, but a lot of it is the safety signage that we get required to put up. So when we ask to put more up, they roll their eyes at us or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think even if we were to put, I mean, I know we know how the farmers market or Westfield on weekends puts out the lawn signs on a periodic basis. We could put those in the flower pots. We could do something like that just to get the word out for a little while, even if they're not permanent signs. But if there's something that we can put out every so often, just to make sure people know that parking is there, it might be a good way to have a public campaign to do it that way. And that kind of segues to what I think was next. Was that the next conversation was the flower pot conversation?
Yeah, the Adopt a Flower Pot program.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm happy to continue to talk about this one. But I mean, maybe that's one way that we can do it. We can come up with a sign, and again, we can have some printed and just put them out saying, "Hey, parking available." Like, put them in the ones that are like when you get to that light, go down School Street. Just put a lawn sign there that says, "Hey, parking off of School Street, free, plentiful public parking." Whatever you want to do.
I'd make it identical to these. That way people can identify.
Yep. Okay. We can come up with something. We can do something along those lines.
The other thing, I know we talked about it last time. It's kind of rushed now, but we should really have a deadline like in the next week or two.
Okay.
Yep. As far as distributing, I'll volunteer.
Okay.
Do some of it.
Good. All right. Let's so Kim, you and I, let's connect tomorrow, and we will we'll go to see if we can go to a couple of our local printers for quotes, whether like Appalachian or was it Mac, the guy that used to be Puffer. There's a couple of local printers who might be able to put these together for us. See what kind of timeline they need.
Okay.
And then we'll just have to encumber some money for that. But if you guys, maybe if you want to make a motion asking that if you put a number like, I don't know, just put $500 on it. If you want to make a motion authorizing us to look for those quotes up to $500, and maybe that's something that we can put on record.
All right, make a motion to authorize spending of up to $500 for the Westfield downtown signing program.
Can we get a second?
John, you want a second? Are you there?
Yes, I'll second that. Sorry, I couldn't find the mute button.
It's all right.
All in favor?
Aye.
Sorry, guys. I'm lagging something wicked if it's taking me forever.
All right, so we have all 3 ayes?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
All right, next is a discussion regarding a possible Adopt a Flower program. I had a business owner come in and was interested in trying to maybe see if we can put together Adopt a Flower pot. He's looking to plant flowers near his business in the spring and summer of next year. He really liked what the cleanup that we've been doing and thought it might be something that we could look into. So I looked at a couple of different communities and how they do it, and it doesn't always work with how we can in Westfield, but I'd like to work through the winter once my license commission is done in December to maybe come up with a program to figure out where the flower pots are, reach out to some of the local businesses to see if they'd be willing to do this, and go from there. And I can, present any findings at maybe the January, February meeting. But if any commissioners have any ideas on the project, or, we can work together, I think it would be nice. I've gotten a lot of good feedback from businesses. They liked seeing Dave Moretti back down there cleaning up the parking lots. They were very happy to see that. So if you guys are okay with that, I can start, in the winter working on a program for that.
Definitely.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I think the one, so I think that Kim can talk to it a little bit. So it seems like there's kind of two options that a lot of communities undertake. It's either somebody can put an application in saying that they are going to maintain a specific flower pot, and we just we authorize them to do so. It'd probably just come before the commission saying, yeah, we authorize such and such a business to take over 2 flower pots in the Church Street Commons or whatever, and allow them to have we'd come up with some level of signage for them to be able to put into it.
Yeah.
And then, so there's that option. And then the other option is that they make a payment of $200 or whatever it is. And we hire Moretti or we hire somebody else to maintain it for them, but they still get their sign in there. I'm hopeful that these businesses would want to just maintain them themselves, because it seems that most of the time that's how it comes out better. But there's downs to it too, because sometimes they're just not. It's hard to keep everything consistent if there's 100 different people doing things. But we can try to maintain. We can try to maintain that consistency somehow.
I think you're
Yeah,
better
so-
with the fee idea.
Yeah.
People lose interest fast. I've seen it down there.
Yeah.
We tried that many times with whiskey barrels,
Right.
and they just became receptacles for trash.
That's the beauty of it. I mean, same thing. I've lived through it 3 or 4 different times, that you get a program going and you get 6 or 8 people to be interested in participating, and then 3 months later, 4 months later, it's just when the season changes, you're back to where you were. And,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll work on that in both ways, and we can go from there.
Good.
What's next? Okay, update on administrative work from last month. So after the meeting, I had a bunch of stuff to get done. Update. I sent the press release to the Westfield newspaper regarding the on-street snow parking ban for the motorists. They're going to publish it in the newspaper a couple times during the upcoming months to let people know what's going on. It's also on our website, which I updated our website to include that item along with the municipal parking lot snow emergency instructions, the off-street parking lot regulations, and the downtown maps. We have been getting some new residents in that area, so this has been great to be able to give them everything now, let them read what's going on, and let them have as much information so we don't tow their cars, or they know all the regulations. So all that's been updated. As far as our revolving account, as of today, we have $41,992.47 in the account. So I don't really see really anything we're going to be spending money on right now, except for maybe the gravel lot.
I think there's so there is I meant to talk to you about this. There is a pole that was hit in Thomas Street.
Okay.
That we'll have to talk to the genie about getting a pole or 2. But there's the one right near Victory Market is down.
Okay.
Genie has they have their cone there, and they got rid of it, but it's down. So we're going to have to look at a couple of lights over there.
No, police incident report, no one saw anything or anything?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'll check. I was told by my sister-in-law who works over there, so
Okay.
I haven't gotten it from anywhere else, but I'll check.
Okay, and then I can reach out to talk to them. We can talk about that tomorrow, tomorrow or Friday.
Yeah.
With Lisa out, I'm a little busy downstairs.
Yeah.
So yeah, either tomorrow or Friday, and then we'll get working on that.
Yep.
They should have some spares if they did that many. They used to have spares and not have to order anything, but I can check on that.
Okay.
Okay, and then approval of monthly bills. Our computers were updated by IT, and right now none of my scanners are working. So I wasn't able to email the bills to all of you. So the first set of bills I have are from our revolving account. And what it is it's $50 for the, It's $50 for IT, integrated technical systems, which is our meter machine software. And the other one is the $8,000 for the full cleanup of all the lots and the flower beds. So that total is $8,050. If I could get a motion to approve those bills.
I make a motion for approval of the bills.
I second that. Oh, yeah.
Kim, I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna try to get up to my son's basketball game at 7 up at
Okay.
the North Middle. But I think I've covered everything. If anybody has any questions, feel free to give me a call. I'm here all week. So
Okay, I'll finish up and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
great. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
Night.
Okay. All right. The next set of bills is our regular bills. Basically what's on there is our wireless Verizon for our meter machine, ticket agency for our parking tickets, and our uniforms for our police officer, our enforcement officer. And that total is $947.06. So if I could have a motion to approve those bills.
I make a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, you got it.
I'll second it
I
then.
second it. Fighting over this.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
I
And I'm sure Ellie's going to say aye in a couple minutes. Okay. I think that's all I have. Ellie, I do need to get these bills paid because we got a short holiday week. Any chance you could stop in, or I can meet you someplace tomorrow? Because I have to have the minutes signed. Once I get the minutes signed, next month the bills you'll be able to email me after the meeting that it's been approved.
Yeah, I'll come down tomorrow.
Oh, thank you so much. That way we can get these paid this week. And I have a couple of late bills that they didn't send me. So I've got some vendors that are chomping at the bit to get some money.
You
So,
got it.
all right. And on that note, unless anyone has anything else, anything you want me to put on for next month's agenda to talk about? Or if you do, you can let me know during the month. Send me an email, give me a call.
No, I don't have anything.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay, so just need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Okay.
I
All right.
Perfect. Have a good
I'll
night.
see you tomorrow, Ellie.